So there's a recovery community already in Delray Beach, and you're launching a church into this area. So talk to me about what you're bringing that makes you distinct in terms of your approach and your process and your delivery with the recovery community.
It's been a really big learning season for me. You know, there's 3,000 AA meetings every single day in Delray. There are recovery meetings meeting everywhere. It's the recovery capital of the country. There's people from all over meeting. And every single treatment center says that they have hope. And they tell people, you're not the problem, you have a disease. And then they go through the 12 steps, and it's very much a moralistic religion. It's all about doing good works, and they quote the Bible, but they never give Jesus any credit or the Bible any credit. And so it's like a small cult or religion where you can get rid of the things that are offensive in the gospel, the edges, and just talk about God as if everything's cool, like any God will do. And people sound really good. You go to meetings and you listen to people who have a lot of sobriety, and they sound like a Christian, but they never mention Christ. And so when you mention Jesus, people are offended immediately. And so being ready for that, knowing how to respond is really unique. But what do we offer? Well, number one, we're broadcasting the only hope that there really is, and we're trying to expose these others as lies. And then holding that intention with what true love is, because unconditional love is not unconditional acceptance. And our culture just does not get that. They think if you're telling me things I don't want to hear, if I don't feel loved, I'm not being loved, because our feelings have ultimate authority. Nothing can appeal past them. And so using the curriculum that we're using out of Marcel Church, having redemption, the Exodus, as the pattern for the way Christ redeems us and all of human beings, having this overarching story that the Bible gives us from creation to recreation, that's massive. It takes it beyond just going in a circle of recovery to seeing a huge God who's holy, and then seeing the gospel in that context as part of Christ's kingdom. God has come. His reign is here. We're bringing our lives under his dominion. And we get to do this. We get to be a part of his renewal of everything. It's so much bigger than recovery. It's actually God's glory everywhere, reclaiming every inch of this creation. And so massive would be what I think this is all about. God's glory is just tremendous. And so giving people a story that we get from the Bible, and then giving people Christ, and exposing the cul-de-sac of religion. It goes nowhere.
From my vantage point, and one of the things that first drew me to this whole idea and vision was how refreshed I felt after being around guys who were open about their brokenness. They didn't have the hope of Christ yet. They didn't understand the good news, but there was no need to convince a lot of the people in the recovery world that they were broken and they needed something. And there was a side of that was so authentic and genuine. I was refreshed. There would be hours that I would spend in my office with couples or people trying to convince them of the need for the gospel, of the fact that they indeed are a sinner and in need of something greater than themselves, that being Jesus Christ. That's pretty much gone. When we step into these recovery rooms, they know that there's a brokenness. Now, whether or not they respond to Christ as the answer to that is a secondary issue. But at least you're starting from a place of honesty, and it's real. And for me, entering into that world, I would leave those meetings and those times just totally refreshed with being able to speak truth into somebody's life who already knew that they needed something.